All right, so let's see. How soon are you looking to move into a place?
Well, my lease is up September 19th, but
Okay, this is listed with Open Door. This one is on the market for $296. This is a Open Door buys houses cash from sellers, and then they puff them up with new carpet and paint, and they put them back on the market at market. So one of the things that you can do is, if you're in Cobb County, looking in Cobb County, you can go to the Cobb County Assessor's Office and see what they paid for the property. They usually give a fair market value price to that particular seller minus a pretty steep amount of cost, which is how they make their profit. And then they'll just sell it at regular market. Let's see. So, and try to negotiate the fee to see if they'll pay it. And usually they do, because they want the buyer, but not always. I'd say in the last 20 years of me selling real, you like to stay in
that house
Vinings?
go for like $270.
Well, no, they paid $265 for it. So, okay. First of all, the days of you going in and getting 2008 to 2009 prices, that's gone. So just put that out of your mind. Those days are gone, unless you're buying a distressed property. This property's been purchased already at a discount. It's been fixed up. These are investors that own these. So an investor's not going to just hand you $20,000 on a house they just bought 2 months ago. What they will do is give you a house in exchange for the price that they're asking for, or they'll negotiate a little bit off the price, but they're not going to give you that. They're not going to give the house away at a loss. They paid $265 for it, and they're asking $296, which is a $20,000 squeeze on there, which covers because you want to get close. Okay, I'll tell you what. You could offer them $20,000 less, but the chances of them accepting your deal are very low. And if they did, they're less likely to pay any of your costs that Zillow's going to charge you to borrow money from Zillow to buy a property.
Oh, and then if they did give it to me at $270, then what would the charges be?
That's why you got to talk to Zillow, sweetheart. I can give you a name of some other lenders that are local that can kind of break the numbers down a little bit better for you. But if you talk to Zillow and you gave them your information and they kind of gave you a roundabout figure, but not actual figures, then you need to call them and say, hey, if I buy a house for X amount, how much does this cost me? You're supposed to get a disclosure statement, which details the cost, how much the loan's going to cost, how much you can borrow, what the payment is, estimated taxes, all of that stuff. I don't do loans, so there's only so much. I just know enough to know, casually what you should ask. But they're in the business of giving loans if you're qualifying through them. So they are supposed to have told you what all those fees were before you even got started trying to look at houses, because you got to know how much it's going to cost you. It's kind of like going to a restaurant without an idea of how much the menu prices are, or without a credit card.
So what do you think about a townhouse versus a house? Like, is that a good investment? Or
it's all about your personal preference and what your needs are. So I would have to do what's called a needs analysis for you. Like, what's your lifestyle like? Do you want to, take care of your yard? Do you have pets that they need yard? Do you have children in your family that would want a yard versus living in a townhouse community with no yard? Do you need amenities like swimming, tennis, and pools? Or do you want are you open to being in a community that has a either monthly or annual or quarterly HOA fee? Or do you want no HOA fee? How do you feel about buying houses that are a little bit older that need repair or have septic systems versus sewer systems? Like, it's a whole consultation and to help you kind of self-discover what you would want. Because everybody's different. I do have a pretty good clip of first-time home buyers that prefer townhouse living. But if you're going to qualify as, and this is something that that when you qualified for your mortgage, I should have asked you this. Like, are you open to paying a monthly HOA fee? Can you afford a monthly HOA fee on top of whatever payment they give you for what you're trying to buy? Most of the HOA fees for townhouses in Mableton are going to hover mainly in that $200 a month range. That goes on top of your payment. Also, too, not every townhouse community in Mableton is FHA approved, which I think is what you're probably going to end up doing, is an FHA approved loan. So that's a whole nother side of education where you have to go onto the FHA federal website to see if the community that you're interested in and that particular address would go FHA. Because if you can't do FHA financing on there, you won't be able to get a loan. And usually that has to deal with a whole nother conversation about how HOAs handle their funds.
Alright. Do you know if Providence has a backyard in their townhouses?
Some of them do, some of them don't. But if you're going to stay in the $200,000 range, the Providence would probably be a good bet. Most of the townhouses in there you can get from mid 200s up to like 300,000. Legacy at the Riverline is going to be a little bit more pricey for their townhouses. So what?
All right. So basically, I just want to ask a question.
Sure.
So, I'm just turning 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just like ran into a lot of money, and I'm wondering, is it a good idea to go ahead and buy instead of like rent?
What's your lifestyle? Well, what's your lifestyle like? I mean, having a lot of money is great to sit on. I mean, you could take 3 months to think about what you want to do. I know you're up against a clock because you got your lease that's about to renew on you, but what is your lifestyle like? Just because you have the money.
I have a son.
You have
and
a son.
Basically, I want him to have somewhere that's his, but I wanted a yard with it as well. And I work at a company that I think I'll probably be at for a couple of years. And I want something that can also be maybe a rental property or investment once I am able to invest in something else.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and you want to be in Mableton specifically?
I do, because like Smyrna, it costs so much now.
Yeah. Smyrna does have a little bit of a price tag to it, that's for sure. Okay. Well, first step would be to go ahead and look at getting your financing in place and figuring out who you want to go with, how much their fees are, and be able to compare them apples to apples. Get educated about the loan process, because that's the most important thing to me. A house is kind of like, if you're eventually going to look at the house as a rental property, then having it as a forever home at 30 is probably not the priority.
I'm just gonna screw these rails in. These rails that were had to be put back up, but so I'll be back over there. Just some little stuff I just see. I never seen a place where everything was torn up, but just some stuff is workable. Like you say.
Okay. So. Are you going to be able to send me an invoice on that property anytime soon?
I'll go ahead and do that later. I've just been tied up, so it's basically been straight for a while, but I've had all this little stuff to put on, so it's not those issues and little things on.
Perfectly fine. And did you get the text message with the all the codes to get into the property?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. The boyfriend might be there, but if not, then you'll be able to access it just fine.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you so much, and I'll look out for the text message.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Hey there. So I wanted to make
hot water heater's done.
Okay. Fantastic.
Now we just wait on the
crawl space door.
Crawl space.
Fantastic.
Crawl space door.
Okay. Did you get the email that I sent you to re-sign the contract?
I need to re-sign?
Yes.
All right, let me do it now.
Okay, it's on a clean copy.
Yeah, I'm glad you called me, because if you send me an email and you don't get a response, make sure you text me or call me, because a lot of times I'm in my car, so I'm not.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I just wanted to touch base with you on that.
All right, closing date to 6, right?
Yes, that's a Monday.
All right, let me jump on it. Let me do it right now.
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
Alrighty.
thanks.
Bye-bye. For a sign, I can give you an order number.
Okay.
Or order for order. Order number is 698011.
All right, let me look that up for you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing exceptionally well today. How are you?
Doing pretty good. As View Heights, what do you think about that?
That's over near Washington Park. It's more of the same as everything else. It's probably in between Washington Park and Mosley Park. It's it's on the other side of I-20 and to the west of Lowry.
So it's not too far from Hawkins.
Well, it's not in the same neighborhood as Hawkins. It's actually more in the same neighborhood as it's in its own neighborhood. It's over there by the AU Center. Have you driven over there yet?
I'm going in a second.
Yeah, it's his own little neighborhood. It's actually closer to Washington Park than it is to Hawkins.
Oh, okay. Let me see, 1027. I'll take 1027. Was it Parson? Okay,
Yeah, that's over by the AU Center.
Yeah, it's about 1.5 miles away from Hawkins. Not too far. Yeah, about a mile and a half. Not too far.
Right, but it's a different neighborhood. So.
Right. No, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, right.